Okay, Cletus, it's time for you to answer some questions. We'll continue our media availabilities with Cletus McFarland. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I will get a mic over to you. We'll start in the middle with Jacob and then go to Dalton.
Jacob Seelman, Raceface Digital. I've got one for both your personas. I'll start with you as Cletus. You were here. We saw the video on your YouTube channel of bringing Dale Jr. down, taking the Dale truck down the back straightaway with a couple of drag passes. What were the emotions like through that experience, and just what's going to be most memorable from that whole process when it's all done and you look back on it?
Well, you know, Dale having no drag race experience whatsoever, he's never been down a drag strip or anything. It was a cool opportunity for us to give him that first experience, and then it also be in the Dale truck, as we call it, that we've had for so many years. I mean, we're coming up on 7 or 8 years of owning it, and probably every single video on it has said, like, you got to get Dale Jr. to drive it. So, you know, my guys put a lot of time into building it. We were excited to show it off, and then he also did, like, the most awesome burnout in it, made great runs. And he was impressed by it. You know, it was just a big win for my whole team, all my guys. And I loved seeing him a little scared or something. You know, he let off the gas on his first hit because it was so fast. And it was just hilarious. I mean, he's so cool. We've all looked up to Dale Jr. So to even just spend time walking around the track with him was cool. But then to see him drive our truck, it was amazing. So I'd say the most memorable moment would be him chicken footing on the throttle and then, you know, doing that awesome burnout.
You're probably the only person that can get away with calling Dale Jr. chicken foot.
Yeah,
Not get knocked upside the head.
It's one of those things, you know, if you chicken foot the gas on any of our videos, like you're done. You're toast. We all just are going to roast you. And he knew he messed up when he came back. I said, man, the truck did something weird. And he's like, well, I might let off the gas, you know, and then we pulled up the data log and it was all over for him. You know, we had to do what we had to do.
And this process from Daytona to here, all the big names that you've now been able to lean on and work with and kind of absorb knowledge from as you've started this ARCA journey, what has it been like emotionally, mindset-wise, as Garrett Mitchell, the race car driver, outside of just the social media boon that this has been for you?
Yeah, well, you know, all the guys that I've met, you know, Biffle and Junior and, you know, Alex Bowman I've been friends with for a long time, they all offer a lot of great advice. But through this process, like you said, you know, the Garrett side of things, I've just become really good friends with them. So it feels natural to hang out with them now, and their advice comes across as they actually want me to use it, and I try to be as mindful as I can of so many different perspectives while I'm out there racing. But obviously I only got 19 laps in Daytona or whatever it was. So, you know, today, just like Ricky said, I've kind of combined everyone's advice into just being patient and surviving down, you know, in the field, because I'm 27th or something like that. And so I'm just combining as much knowledge as I can to try and make the right decision. But it's cool having all these friends that are willing to take the time to give me their advice. I mean, everyone's got 10, 15, 20, 25 years of advice, so it's great. I feel really lucky.
We'll go over to Dalton and then down here to Jenna.
Garrett.
Yep.
Garrett Cleetus.
Whichever works.
Whichever works. Do you have a story from the Boulevard that what's the wildest story that you've got maybe from the Talladega Boulevard?
This could get me. Let me tell you something about the Talladega Boulevard. You know, I preach, you know, just living the freedomatic life of being an American. But I don't know if I really knew the true meaning of freedom till I stepped foot on Talladega Boulevard. I mean, we're parked up and there's just action happening. I can't get into the details because honestly, it's It's just not. It's not cool, man. Whatever happens on Talladega Boulevard has to stay there. You know, I would say that if I posted some of the things that we saw, it would be, my channel would be deleted. You know, it's just action. You know, it's like you just don't know till you know. You go on Talladega Boulevard, you're seeing purebred Americans enjoying life to the absolute maximum. They love two things. That's boobs and turning left. You know what I mean? That's Talladega Boulevard down there, and they're just living that life.
We'll go to Jenna here in the front.
Morning, Jenna.
Good morning, Garrett / Cletus.
Hit me.
I noticed that you were Garrett when you first started, and then in the second answer, you were both a mixture of Garrett and Cletus. So how do you decide when you're which person, or are you just schizophrenic and like they just pop
I'm
up?
schizophrenic for sure. I don't know, you know.
You worked in both personalities in this last one.
I don't know. Like, you know, when I first started the Cletus thing, it was like a redneck persona. And then, like, just slowly, Garrett and Cletus have merged into one. And, like, you know, it really depends on the environment, right? Like, when I get in trouble and, per se, have to go to the ARCA hauler for a chat, you know, that's Garrett. He's going in there. The other night, we were at a campground, and Jack Stan fired up the water slides, and the employees were really mad, and, you know, Garrett had to go handle that situation. I had to go talk to the owner. But then when I pulled through the gates of Dega, you know, I'm just Cletus. It's like, I really can't control it. I just, I don't know. It's a good question, actually. I think I just live my life as both, or maybe it's just one now. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter what people call me. I just am who I am now, and I just try to live my life how I want and have as much fun as possible with my friends. Like, winning with your friends is the best, and so we just travel around and have a good time, no matter who we are. Yep.
We'll go in the back to Zach.
Zach Ready, kickingthetires.net. Obviously, with such a massive following online, a lot of influence, you know, goes to your channel. What drivers do you follow that stand out to you online? And possibly, you know, you asked Ricky for advice. What would your advice be to drivers to perhaps branch out if they choose to do so?
Like you're saying, to help drivers with social media stuff? Well, I think a lot of the drivers, you know, who are in Cup, they have so much experience. They've been around for a while, and social media didn't really blow up when they were getting into it. So I do see some drivers who are really doing good jobs on social media, and some that, you know, you just don't see much from. I don't know specifically who I'd call out on that. I mean, I root for Alex Bowman the most, just because him and I have been friends for so long, and you know, I'm just trying to think of how to articulate your question. Like, if they, I do feel like there's a major lack of YouTube opportunity in the garages. Like, if I was a Cup guy, I personally would be filming all that stuff. Just, you know, we film all our videos on an iPhone, and maybe it does exist and we don't know about it, but like, the same thing I do at my shop every day, working on the drag cars and stuff, like that could easily be done in a Cup garage. But I think there's a lot of secretism about the car setups and stuff, and that could easily be avoided. But like, there's so much to show, and I think the audience is kind of begging for it. So if a couple of these drivers, I don't know who's going to be first, starts showing what's going on, you know, in their day-to-day life. I think Carson Hocevar specifically is probably doing the most right now with the live streams and stuff. But like, if once someone picks up their iPhone and goes in their garages and is like showing the day-to-day struggles, because to me from the outside, like, it just seems like all the Cup teams are like so dialed in, so locked in, but we all know behind the scenes they're having, you know, some shit show days, for lack of better words, and we'd love to see it. You know, like most of my videos that have done the best are on my worst days at the track when I like, you know, throw a rod out the side of a motor. People love those videos for some reason. And it is hard some days posting it, but like, man, I'm telling you, once one driver really throws, you know, some cool, just homemade style YouTube videos up, and it may exist. I just think it's going to do really well for somebody.
We'll come down here to Bob, and then we'll take one last question from Steven.
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. Do you feel like you're taken seriously yet from the other ARCA drivers?
Well, I mean, I only have 19 laps. So, and, you know, I think the other drivers understand that I am here to, I'm here not just as a driver. I'm here as, you know, to make our YouTube videos. They know that. So they know that I might not take this as serious as them, but I think all the drivers have a good understanding of that. And, they know that I'm out there to race. Like in Daytona, you know, I went out wrecking, right? And but I feel like it wasn't anything that I caused. And if I went out there and made a fool of myself, you know, and wrecked a bunch of people, I think they wouldn't take me seriously. But I haven't done anything yet that would cause them to not take me seriously. I don't think so. Oh, good question.
We'll come down here to Steven.
Steven Toronto, CBS Sports. Cletus, you mentioned only making 19 laps in the ARCA race at Daytona.
Yeah.
Given that thinned out the field so much, and you know you're in a good race car with Rhett Jones Racing, you know, how much do you view that as a missed opportunity? Considering that, you know, if you had missed all that, you may have been one of those 10 cars in the lead pack that were competing for the win the last 20 laps.
I mean, we went from 27th to 14th in whatever it was, 19 laps. So, man, that car was like feeling so good. It was sucking right up to everybody. Oh, man, I mean, no doubt we would have been top 10 if we kept going. Obviously, the wreck, I was way back off the leaders. You know, there was a car all over the place, and then I got wadded up. So it's hard to really say what was going to happen, but man, I feel like if we just stayed in it, we would have been. If we made it past that last wreck, like it was, I think it was smooth sailing, but we'll never know.
Thanks, Cletus. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck this
Thanks,
afternoon.
guys. Appreciate you.
And for the media in the room, we'll have our Cup Series Top 25 in here beginning at 9 a.m. They will make an appearance before or after their qualifying lap.